Welcome to the Estoril coast, a destination with history. Its growing importance to the Kingdom of Portugal led King Pedro I to raise its status from village to villa in 1364 and call it the guardian of my land. Already by the 19th century, Cascais was to sparkle again, when in 1870 King Luis chose to spend October and November here as a late summer retreat. And with the king came the court, the nobility and high society. There was bridge played in the citadel and sailing in the bay, and there were promenades in the street, on foot and on horseback. Later, King Carlos would carry on the same tradition. The season had been created, the summer architecture of the elite, quality tourism. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Companhia do Monte do Estoril had already become the meeting point for the Portuguese aristocracy and upper class, and already some foreign visitors. Estoril was still only a pinewood by the sea. In 1914, the passion for the future and the enterprising spirit of men such as Fausto Figueiredo and Augusto Carreira de Souza, allied to the technical and aesthetic ability of the French architect Martinet, gave birth to an Estoril with an urban design that even after 100 years continues to be one of the most innovative in Portugal. Estoril had become a quality destination. Luxury hotels and broad palm-lined avenues were built. The golf course, tennis courts, shops in the arcades selling elegant objects, the park, grand houses, broad streets. Estoril gained unparalleled international publicity. In 1930, a new Sud Express rail service linking Paris to Tamaris was announced. Paris to Estoril by train without changing, a dream that became reality. Beyond the holiday destination of quality, now came the promotion of grand events. The coastal road, the Marginal, was built. The Grand Hotel Palacio. The railway line was electrified. Then the Casino of Estoril was inaugurated, which until today would maintain the spirit of the Fausto Figueiredo project, proving that dreams really do come true. During the Second World War, Portugal became the meeting point for thousands of people fleeing from the horrors of war. The Estoril coast was the refuge of aristocrats and businessmen exiled from their countries at war. And here they recreated their suspended paradises, bringing to all the region the glamour that had previously sparkled in the center of Europe. The first monarch to arrive was Juan de Borbón y Battenberg, the Count of Barcelona and father of Don Juan Carlos. It was a happy childhood, that which the present King of Spain lived in Estoril. Many sovereigns found in Estoril their new home. The Archduke Joseph von Habsburg-Lothringen of Hungary would come to say, "Estoril has become for me and my family our spiritual home." And the last monarch of Italy, King Umberto II, son of Victor Emmanuel III, wrote, "I love Estoril, its sun, its waters. Portugal is the country that took me in its arms, and I can never forget this." At the same time, Estoril hosted numerous agents working on behalf of their governments, a hive of spying and information networks. Estoril was unquestionably the center of the world, and to such an extent that many were inspired to create reality and fantasy here. The well-known writer Ian Fleming, for example, who after coming to live here, wrote his first novel, Casino Royale. So it was in Estoril where the character of James Bond, the famous secret agent 007, was born. And if at the beginning of the 20th century someone already believed in Estoril, today Estoril asserts itself more and more through the quality of its projects, embracing the future it builds each day. The infrastructures of progress have been and continue to be created. The Casino of Estoril affirms itself as a cultural and economic reference. The hotels respond successfully to an increasingly demanding clientele. Opportunities to meet with business multiply because the economy speaks with society. The Estoril coast, for the conditions offered, its proximity to the great metropolis of Lisbon, and a world heritage of excellence, offering its inhabitants and visitors opportunities of leisure, of pleasure, of the simple things in life. Welcome to the Estoril coast, a destination with history.